Hey guys, how's it going? So, this is the Lost Brothers. So you are fighting two bosses at once, as you can see. There's one lightning and one fire guy with two different move sets. Obviously, one who's on fire, and one that has kind of a lightning imbue to him. So, I found that this boss fight was pretty manageable, just because of the fact that only one boss really comes at you at once. The other one usually goes up top, does a few couple things. There wasn't a whole lot of variety in the fight either, just because of the fact that they have the same moveset, they don't really change it. The only time you'd really come into a lot of trouble is if you start to spam too much, use your energy too much, and just don't pay attention. So, for the fire guy, he's kind of the first guy that I fight here. Now, he does, I think, 3 different attacks. So there's a single melee attack, so you can block that with your shield. I found that using heavy armor for me was the most efficient way of doing this one. You can dodge the auto attack, obviously, but I think for me, I just blocked the attack and then went to town on him. He also does a fire breath directly in front of him, and he also does a AoE fire breath. So it's pretty manageable. I found the fire guy was fairly easy to kill. Now the lightning guy is a little bit more annoying. As you can see here, he does do an AoE around him, so you don't want to be in range. He also does a ranged attack, sending out a bolt of lightning. So ideally you want to dodge that unless you have a shield that has an extreme amount of defense. But right here, I'm just going to town on him. I have rage on, and I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can while while he's in that phase. So yeah, he does a double auto attack though. So that is one thing to consider between the two, is that the red guy does 1 auto attack, whereas the lightning guy does 2. 1, 2. So keep that in mind. You don't really have to worry too much about the bosses. You can actually trade with them a little bit if you are in heavy armor. Now, light armor probably not really a good idea, but it's worth a try definitely with heavy armor. So when they do go up into the air, back off. You do not want to be in that area. The lightning guy is a little bit less frightening than the fire guy. The fire guy does a much larger AoE, and typically it does a lot of damage, so you want to be careful for that. I am blocking the hits from the lightning blast with my shield, which probably isn't ideal. Ideally you want to avoid them, but it is a homing missile, so if you don't have fast roll, it may be kind of difficult sometimes. So right here, he does an AoE in front of him. You don't want to stand in that. If you have heavy armor, you can avoid most of the damage. So right here, I'm basically just trading with the boss, so I'm going to back off, heal. Definitely wouldn't recommend this with with light armor though, but that's essentially the boss fight though. You want to deal with them one at a time. You want to back off whenever they do their abilities. So whenever the lightning guy goes up in the air, whenever the fire guy breathes his fire or does his kind of conal attack. So a good way to deal with that actually is just to back off a little bit. So right here, I know he's going to do his AoE. I should be backing off. Oh, yeah, there's the fire. Yeah, so that's a giant fire AoE that does about 60 or 70 damage, so it's considerable enough. Going behind the boss is a good idea as well, because he only really does a frontal cone. So right here, I'm kind of backing off, because you don't want to deal with both of them at once. Ideally, one goes up, and you deal with just the other one. Yep, so the fire guy went up. Now the lightning guy's coming for me. Does his AoE. But yeah, that's really about it. It's kind of just rinse and repeat. It's a little bit of a... Yeah, you do have to manage stuff a little bit, but I find that since both bosses don't really attack you at the same time, it's not like a Smog and Ornstein-esque type of deal where you literally have 2 hyper-aggressive bosses that do a lot of damage coming at you. It's more kind of like, oh, well, you're basically fighting just one boss at a time, and it's like, okay, well, if I can trade with this boss, I will. Like, there's really no reason for me not to. So yeah, go to town on him. Use your cooldowns. I think if you pop rage, you actually, yeah, right here, I want to back off. I wasn't paying attention, and I don't know why I rolled. The roll, that was so bad. I think I have only medium roll. I think that's medium roll that I have right there. So I didn't want to heal back up here until I had done more damage to the boss or taken more damage. So there's that AoE, double boss, back off. So, you know what? Yeah, rinse and repeat. The boss fight itself is kind of cool. The idea is cool. I just think it could have been done a lot better. Just personal preference. But this is close to the end of the game. Very close. Like, this is in the basement of the castle, and then once you fight your way to the top of the castle, there's the final boss, which is the judge, which I'll kind of talk about it in the video, obviously, but I think it actually is a pretty decent boss battle. It feels a bit like Manus to me. A little bit anyway, not a whole lot, but a lot of his melee attacks are quite dangerous. They can be a little bit unpredictable. I find that it is a lot more manageable than Manus, because Manus tends to be just more unpredictable. The Judge, you can kind of figure out his moveset pretty quickly. So, I'm gonna hit the fire here. Fire AoE, yep, so I need to heal up. I actually barely killed these guys. But again, I'm taking so much free damage with this guy. I am just going to town on them, but at the same time, like, I could be avoiding a lot of this. A lot of this. So, right here, both bosses are coming at me. I want to back off. I can heal with my prayer a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't really heal a whole lot. Actually, this is getting a bit... I think I seem to recall, this is the second time I was doing it. The first time I only had, I didn't have any pots. I had absolutely no pots, and I wasn't able to beat the boss because I wasn't able to heal at all, right? And I got him about, I don't know, about half HP, so it's pretty easy to learn. It's pretty easy to learn. You just gotta understand that you don't want to fight both bosses at the same time, and you want to avoid their AoEs as much as you can. Now, I'm just, yeah, so I killed one. And now the second one gets the... Yeah, so that is one thing too. Once you kill one of them, the second one gets the power of the one that died. So this guy now has a fire AoE, but I believe he also does the... I think he does a double auto now. At least as far as I remember. I'm being very careful because I'm low health, and if I get hit like once, I'm going to die. That AoE, and he goes after my prayer guy, so I can just finish him off. So as you can see, he does do the lightning AoE. Yeah, and there's the fire breath. I think I can kill him right here. So that's the Lost Brothers. It's meh. But yeah, we'll continue on to the Judge. So yeah, see y'all later. Bye.